Hey, thought I'd just do a little quick public service announcement today. I'm not really feeling like doing a daily video today, but the streak must go on. Anyway, last week DMC5 received a patch, and you're probably going to see the the instant rewards of it right now. The game is loading up a lot faster, and the reason for that is that they removed Denuvo. I guess
Devil may cry.
Capcom is just removing Denuvo from games after they've been released for about a year. As you know, DMC5 came out last March, so I guess they figured they are selling this game for like 15 bucks right now. It's like pretty much indie game price. It's a AAA game being sold for indie game price, so I guess they figured there's no reason to put the DRM in anymore. There's been some conflicting reports in terms of whether Denuvo actually impacts performance. It definitely does make the game load faster. I've noticed loading like a little bit faster loading times in the actual game as well. The side effect of all this is kind of an unintended one. Is that pretty much none of the mods are working, and none of the cheat engine mods are working. DMC5 Community Edition, which is basically just going to be a big fan mod to fix a lot of the weird problems and just stiffness this game has. You know, some things you can't cancel out of and things like that. Basically, they have to find all the values again, but apparently I guess they had kind of prepared for that to happen. I know that Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 2 Remake also had Denuvo removed as well. I think there was a similar problem there. Resident Evil 2 Remake and RE7 are on the same engine as this, and I know RE2 has a pretty significant amount of mods as well. Obviously, RE2 is not as mechanics heavy as DMC5 is, obviously, but there's things like the randomizer and stuff. A lot of the streamers use it, I guess, to get more content out of the game and things like that. So, if you have the game already, or you want to buy it now, I mean, I think this is probably one of the best times to buy it, just because of it's a high quality game and it's being sold for under $20 in most cases. I definitely recommend it. There won't be any more Denuvo messing up performance and using more CPU usage than what you should be. However, basically none of the mods are working right now. So if you've been playing the game with mods, if your DMC5 game or client is genetically modified with with high fructose corn syrup like mine is at this point, then it's probably not going to be too attractive to play at the moment. But I hear that the new tables will probably be out probably within the next week or so. I don't know how much work they're putting into this. Obviously, the people who make the mods for this, it's a very thankless job. They don't get paid for it or anything. It's a lot of work and stuff like that. So I don't know when that will happen, but I thought I'd show some just how fast the game is loading now. It definitely does seem to be loading a little bit faster. Actually, I want to do one thing here. I actually have a DMC4 Dante mod running right now, so I should play some DMC4 music. Alright, there we go. I am definitely used to the mods, however, I never really heavily modded this game as much as other people did. I pretty much just used Infinite Ignition and two Sky Tricks for Dante, and that was basically it. And the Faster Guard mod, which a lot of people swear by. I haven't really messed with it too much else. Let's go old school today, just two weapons today. I figure my muscle memory is going to be all screwed up because I don't have Balrog passive switch anymore, so it doesn't really matter. My gameplay is not going to be good regardless. We also have a Bayonetta style meter and announcer mod as well. Cosmetic mods will work fine because those don't mess with the values in the game. Those are basically just replacing the textures. But mods that do mess with the game's coding and stuff are not working right now. However, mods that are installed through the Fluffy Manager, the one that you use to install the texture mods, like Faster Guard and stuff, like this is still working. But anything that involves Cheat Engine, basically all those values have been broken by the update. It's something that happens pretty commonly with PC games. What will often happen is that a game will be updated and all the values change, and basically that means that until somebody actually fixes all the values and stuff, and none of those mods will work. Yeah, I can't play this at all without my muscle memory's all messed up. See if I can get the parry here. It's one of the things I'm trying to get better at. There you go. Also, Battle for the Grid, that game's kind of messed up right now too. Pretty much ever since they added the crossplay with PS4, the game's been crashing a lot. Not crashing, but like soft locking, meaning that sometimes you'll get like disconnected. And what makes it worse is that it's happening in ranked as well. So sometimes the game will count it as a rage quit, even though you're being a good person and not rage quitting. I think they had to like push back their official online tournament because of it, which is funny because Battle for the Grid like actually has good netcode. Like usually online tournaments for fighting games are a joke because the netcode is always delay based and it's usually not good. Especially not good enough for something like actually playing for money or prizes or whatever. But it's kind of ironic that one of the games that has like the best netcode is it's not working too well right now. But Battle for the Grid is basically the only fighting game that supports all 4 platforms. So obviously there's going to be some problems there. Closest you can probably get is Killer Instinct, which is Windows 10 and Xbox One crossplay, and Street Fighter 4, which is PS4 and PC. probably like kind of counterproductive to play this more at this point because I have the muscle memory for the Balrog passive switch, which basically turns the Balrog weapon into Dark Slayer style, where you switch to it by pushing the same style button twice. So I think a lot of people, ironically, are playing this less right now. Even the hardcore people, which is basically anybody that's still playing this game because it doesn't really have that much replay value in the first place. A lot of people are avoiding it because they have muscle memory with the mods. This is definitely one of the games where mods do make the game objectively better. I mean, not most of the stuff is not even cheating directly. It's basically just giving you more options, which is something that's been very common with pretty much all DMC games ever since DMC4. DMC3 didn't really get that many mods until recently because the only PC version of it was the Ubisoft one, which is was back in the dark ages of PC ports. Like if you think PC ports are bad now, they were they were far worse then. They were usually outsourced, and sometimes they didn't even resemble the original game at all, or they just had a bunch of problems and stuff. The only reason DMC3 has all the cool mods and stuff is because they were able to port a lot of the code to the HD collection, which is probably the best reason to get that game. DMC1 is still a good game, but in terms of mechanics and stuff, it has not aged well. DMC2, nothing really needs to be said there. DMC3, if you can get that game on sale, I know a lot of people are upset that they are not porting the style switcher and the weapon wheel and stuff to the HD version. I definitely recommend getting it. Obviously, DMC3 is like a 15-year-old game. It doesn't really require a crazy computer to run. You can probably run it on pretty much anything that can run any other like recent modern game. So I recommend it there. Actually, what I'm going to be doing, probably a little closer to release. I'm not sure what's going on with the Orochi 4 Ultimate Key, and also I already covered everything on that game anyway, so I don't really think that's going to be a big mainstay of content for me for a while. Is that I'll be playing DMC3 on the Style Switcher DDMK mod to prepare for the Switch version. I did apply for a key. I'm not sure if I'll get one. I probably imagine they're not getting as many requests for that as they were for DMC5. I don't think a lot of people are going to be terribly interested in it. I was pretty good at DMC3 for the time. Back when that game came out is actually when YouTube first released, and that's actually when I started my channel, back when DMC3 Special Edition had just come out. So I'm not good at it by today's standards, but DMC3 is also a game that's been heavily enhanced by mods as well. DDMK is probably still going to be the definitive version of the game. We're not really sure how the weapon wheel is going to work. We don't know if it'll be like this game, where you can choose how many items or how many weapons you have in your lineout or loadout. We don't know if it's going to be like that, or if you're going to be able to have everything on at once and have no option for disabling them. That's what makes playing as Dante a lot more manageable in this game, is just having the ability to not have all the weapons at once. You have the option to, but you don't have to. So I'm curious to see what will happen there. Maybe for tomorrow's video, I'll start that little, probably half playthrough or so of DMC3 Style Switcher. So like I said, this game has no Denuvo now, so if you don't care about mods and that was something that was holding you back, I know a lot of people don't want to support Denuvo. I definitely remember back when the game came out, they actually leaked the Denuvo-less EXE themselves, and people were using it, which is kind of funny because Denuvo was causing a lot of problems for people, and all it really does is, I think when they like sign up for Denuvo, all it really promises that it protects the game for like the launch window, meaning when they're still selling it at full price, and it's not like budget game tier like it is now. But it also causes a lot of performance issues. It's also a CPU hog as well. So if you're on the cusp of like being able to run this, you may actually be able to run it quite a bit better now, simply because Denuvo is not there. Anyway, when the mods are reinstated, or they find the values again, I did plan on probably playing through this again with some more mods now that I've gotten better at the game. But until then, I'm probably going to focus on DMC3 with Style Switcher, since I'm going to need to get ready for that for the Switch port. Anyway, that's it. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.